Welcome to episode 72 of Sport SA Daily Diary. Today we're chatting to South African archer Danelle Wentzel. Good morning, Danelle. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm not so bad, and yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How's the lockdown been treating you?
Well, it's been hard, but I've been keeping so busy. I'm just making a mess out of everything. If you have too much time on your hands, you just start organizing, and then after all, that's not enough. So I'm busy ripping out the carpets in my room. It's just a mess.
Oh, sure. Sounds like you've been keeping active then. It's I suppose it's a bit difficult because with your sport, you can't exactly do it in the back garden, I suppose.
Well, I'm lucky in that way. I think you don't really need a lot of space to shoot and focus or specifically train on your technique and make sure everything is perfect on that part of the spectrum. But like we have neighbors, so that's always a problem. But we ask them, so where I'm shooting, where my target is at, is the fence. So it's opposite their swimming pool. So when I hear them swimming, luckily now it's winter or almost winter, so it's too cold for them to swim. Then I won't shoot, but otherwise they know I'm there and they gave consent that it's fine if I shoot. So that's something that we always like try to figure out.
So Danelle, you're an archer. That's a different sport for a young girl to be involved in. Tell us a bit about how you got involved in archery.
I don't see myself as that young anymore, but I started when I was young, yes. I got started into archery just like most people probably get into it, just my family was into it. So my cousin, he likes hunting and he couldn't hunt anymore. So because of his hearing and being a pilot and your hearing is important, so he decided to get a bow so that if he goes hunting, that's a new way to hunt. And then from there, my dad and brother started shooting, and I just hate missing out on anything. So I started, and I'm the only one that's still shooting.
Because you've obviously taken it a lot better than they have, I suppose.
I think they probably were like, okay, no, I'm tired of competing with her, and then they just got busy with something else. And I just love my sport, so I can't see myself not doing it anymore.
And how old were you when you took it up?
Grade 8, I was 15. Yes, I was 14, but actually started when I was 15, so 10 years.
And did you participate in any other sporting activities at school?
I did, but I would never say I was good in anything. I just participated to participate. I did the netball, hockey, softball in high school, but I was just in the background. Really, I suck at team sports. I suck at ball coordination and just stuff like that. I was never really good at it. If I trained, obviously, I became better, but that was never for me. I just did it for fun to hang out with friends. And then I got introduced to archery, and because I'm only my own biggest critic, and if I don't work, then I only disappoint myself. That's a lot better for me. Like I enjoy doing it by myself rather than doing it as a team.
Yeah. And I mean, you started in 2009 and you very quickly made your international debut.
I did. I started 2009, but I didn't compete at all really during that time. Oh wait, I did, but just the usual here and there competitions, but with a lot of like bribing from my dad to actually shoot. And in 2010, like mid 2009, I really started, and mid 2010, I actually got the qualifiers. I was fourth in the team, and they sent 4 people. So I went to that. It was Germany, I think Germany Dawn for a field competition. I don't really shoot field anymore, but that's how it all started for me. So it was quick, but it was a lot of hard work in that first year. But it was a new sport. I enjoyed seeing the progress, so I just kept going.
So for the people that are listening, there's obviously different types of archery. Tell us a bit about those different types.
Okay, so there's a lot of. I'm just going to touch on the few that I'm well aware of. There's probably some that I will miss, but there's the big one that I'm shooting is World Archery. So that's the type that you would see at Olympic Games, the yellow, red, blue, black, white target. And then with that World Archery, it's indoor and outdoor. So outdoor, you'll shoot 50 meters. If you're a compound archer, if you're a recurve archer, you shoot on 70 meters. And then there's indoor where we shoot 18 meters.
Okay.
And then, okay, so that's World Archery. Then you get the fields that's more like outdoor. You walk in the field, then you have targets at different points. You get field AVO, which is more like your animal target. Then you just have to know where the kill zone is. I don't really shoot that much. I'm more a target archer, so I like knowing exactly where to aim and shoot. And so AVO, 3D, fields, that all classifies in the, like, you're in the field, you're just walking. That's also really fun. I like to do that when I just need a break from just my one distance yellow target type feeling, just to do something different. But there's a lot of different styles, so there's really, like, if you're not sure what you're into, you can just go and shoot everything. I'm sure there's one that everyone will enjoy doing.
Yeah, I'm sure. And tell us, Danelle, in matric, you had a bit of a life transformation. Tell us a bit about that transformation.
Life, like when I lost some weight.
Yes.
I'm always in the cycle of losing, gaining, losing, gaining. Okay, but that was the biggest time where I actually started exercising, trying to get fit. It's still difficult. Sorry. I don't know where my voice is today. I'm not sick even, but anyway. So that's when I got introduced to training and exercise. Really to the gym. That was the first time I got my first gym membership. Started going religiously. I saw a personal trainer back then because I had no idea what to do and I was scared to get an injury. And from there, I just I have I have a passion for fitness. I won't say I'm the fittest. I'm really not, but I just like reading up on it, like watching documentaries of different sport, like Ironman, the CrossFit Games, the strongmen, like all of those different, like, people just blow my mind of what they can do. Archery, you don't need to be super fit. I do think that a certain amount of fitness does help to get your heart rate lower, to help with coping with adrenaline and stuff like that. But that's when I lost I think it was 12 or 15 kilograms. It was 8 years ago. And since then, I've always been training. It's always just some tweaks in nutrition, because if I go overseas, I like indulging in the culture, and that's usually in the food as well. If I'm finished shooting, so I always gain a bit and then I'll just come back and then just lose it again. And it's still a learning cycle. I still learn what works for me and what doesn't.
I would imagine you would need a fair bit of fitness though in your arms, because in archery, it's not a sort of 5-minute competition. It does go on for a while, and you are holding a bow up in a sort of stable, steady position for some time. So you must do quite a bit of fitness on your arms.
The best fitness for archery to build your strength up is basically just to shoot. And okay, I do like 2 or 3 times a week, I will focus on upper body exercises. Like my left arm is really good at pushing and my right arm is really good at pulling. So I usually try to train unilaterally, just so, because it's very different and that leads to injuries. So I try to balance it out. It's almost impossible, just because I shoot 2-3 hours a day. Trying to replicate that in the gym, I don't have time for that. I don't do it full time. So I just try to do my best to balance things out. But I do train upper body, but still the best fitness is just to shoot, to build up the strength to hold the bow longer and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I mean, in the last couple of years, you've been very successful. You obviously hold a record at the SA Champs. You then became the first woman to win at the World Cup stage in Turkey. Tell us a bit about
the SA record was 2019. I'm thinking, was it 2018, 2019? Okay, so that was a world record. It's not anymore. I think 2 months or 3 months ago, someone broke it. Maybe 4 months ago.
You held the world record, not just a South African record.
No, it was a world record. It stood for a decade, so that's where I'm just like, what the hell? Anyway, I did shoot the world record on 60 meters with a score of 357 out of 360, and the record, like, it stood for a decade before someone broke it. That was now me. And then it didn't even take a year for someone to break it with 1 point, and I'm just like, I didn't expect to shoot it, but when I did, I'm like, oh, I hope it like holds for a decade as well. Yeah. And then someone is just like, I'm gonna beat you by 1, and so again, just have to try to. I guess if I make it a full score, no one will beat it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell us a bit about the World Cup stage in Turkey.
Okay, Turkey is what was the World Cup stage. So there's usually 4 stages a year, and except in an Olympic year, it's only 3 stages. But okay, so usually 4 stages, and during those 4, they rank you based on points where you end up, and top 8 goes to the World Cup final. Top 8 men, top 8 females. So in total, there's only 32 archers that goes, because it's only recurve and compound. And we only went to Turkey, if I remember correctly. It was only Turkey, and it was the World Championship year as well. So we went to Turkey basically as a training for the World Championships, just to be. The archers overseas, they travel every weekend. So we just went to familiarize ourselves, this is what, because we haven't done it in a few months, so this is how it feels. Let's just get ready for World Championships. So my whole goal for Turkey was, okay, this is my practice for World Championships. And I've always wanted to do well in Turkey. That's one of the places that I've said, like, from this first time I went there in 2014, I fell in love with the place, or 2013. So I said, whenever I shoot well enough and get to that stage, if I wanted to medal at any stage, that was one stage that I do want to medal, because you shoot the finals on the beach, so yeah. It's why I wanted to do it. And I shot there with the mindset of, okay, keep focus, because this is what you need to take to, we shot in Netherlands, the World Championships. And I just went through it, like, the mental game was just there. I was in the zone, and I just kept going and going and going until someone said, okay, you're done for the day, you're in the gold medal match. Like, I knew it was what was happening, but I didn't really register. I just kept shooting and shooting, and okay, 1 down, 1 more to go, 1 down, 1 more to go. And when I was finished, I'm like, okay, whew, that took more out of me than I thought. And then I think the next day or the day after was the gold medal match, and then I won that. So it was really great, because I'm not sure if it was the not really putting expectation of winning on that specific event that got me the gold, or if it was just, okay, this is going to be like 100%. I'm going to take this as the last opportunity to prepare 100% for Netherlands.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but it was, and then I got into the World Cup finals, first South African women to get that opportunity. Although it didn't go as I wanted it to go, I learned a lot there.
How did it go there? How did you fare?
I okay, so it's like I came second last, but there was only 8
That's okay.
women shooting, and it was the 8 top qualifiers for that year. And
So essentially, you're in the top 8 women's archers in the world.
at the moment, I'm 11th, if I'm correct. That's my world ranking points.
Okay.
So not 7. Okay, but for last year, I came 7th. And so you shoot 15 arrows in an elimination match. You'll shoot your qualification. At the finals, you don't shoot a qualification. You just shoot from the start, like your elimination round. So there's no like warming up or anything. You just like bam, walk on stage, in or out. That's it. That's like 2 days, either waste the trip or actually it was worth the trip. So out of my 15 arrows, there was 2 arrows that I would say was really bad. So overall, 13 out of 15 is probably still a good striking rate, but it wasn't good enough. Like my mistakes was just too big on that level to catch up. I did catch up a bit, but it still cost me my match. And that was just me not being used to that type of like pressure. I've never felt that stress and pressure. Like for a moment there, like even though I was in a few medal matches in my life before, that specific, like they build it up to such a stage that it gets in your head. That's basically what happened to me. And it's stupid, but it does happen, and that's why I learned a lot. And next time I'll just be more prepared to not get that, like let that get to me. But in the end, it's the better archer won that match, and hopefully I can, if whenever tournaments start again, next year I can show that I was good enough and that I am a worthy competitor, and I'll just try again.
Well, you certainly are a worthy competitor. I think you are being slightly modest. To be 7th in the world last year and 11th in the world this year, I mean, that's pretty something special. Olympics, is that on the cards for you?
Unfortunately not. So you get 2 big styles of archery, compound and recurve. At the moment, only recurve is recognized as an Olympic sport. But a positive is for compound. We have world championships every 2 years, and it's introduced into the World Games again. So we will be able to go to the World Games.
Oh, that's good enough. And tell us, you had a very special shoot at the Vegas shoot, where you scored 600 out of 600. That's sure. Wow.
The Vegas is a place that everyone needs to visit. So if I know Vegas is coming up, I'm always excited for it. It's the biggest shoot of the year. It's the biggest payout of the year. And you don't need to qualify for it. Anyone can just enter and go shoot it. So if you're an archer, that has to be one of the places that you just want to go visit, because you're amongst the best. You can see everyone that you usually see on TV or on YouTube. So that's always the fun part of it. And okay, so that was my very first time in Vegas that I shot 600 out of 600 again. We didn't, at that stage in my life, I didn't even know what a Vegas target looked like. And I went there, I think I was 16, so 16, went there, I knew I could shoot, but I didn't know exactly what Vegas is about. So then I came there. I don't have a target with me now, which I did, but usually we have like a really small X ring, so indoor, only that counts as full marks or full points of 10 points. And then they have like a small ring outside the X ring that counts as a X10, but indoor only the X counts as a 10. And Vegas, they're like, okay, no, both counts as a 10. I'm like, yeah, well, I only practice like the small ring as a full points, so now I get an extra ring. And I just won that. I'm really sad that I was in a junior type of class that year, because I think as you go through everything, that was like I was on a really good peak there, and I wasn't in the championship division. And the year after that, and ever since, I've always entered in the women's championship division. I've done well. Except this year. I've done well every other year except this year. And it was just some stupid mistake that I made with my equipment. So that was sorted out. The next tournament was good again. It sucks that it happened in Vegas, but probably just another thing to learn from. And I came from the women's championship side. The best that I've done was 7th place. That was 3 points down out of over 3 days. So it was 897 out of 900 points, and that's what I basically practiced for. Like, I practiced to at most drop 3 points, because that was how much. The winner of the previous year was shooting 897, and then that year when I shot, they shot like I think a 900 out of 900. So I was just like, okay, just goes to show, don't go on a previous year's scores to see where you need to be.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned there.
And tell us, Danelle, what does the future hold for Danelle?
The future for me is quite uncertain at the moment. I finished my studies last year. I wanted to, this time I wanted to be in America right about now to shoot the field outdoor circuit there. That's not going to happen. I think that's all. The whole circuit has been cancelled. So I'm glad I didn't waste money to actually buy a ticket, because I just came from America from December to February. I was shooting the indoor circuit, and I wanted to go again now for the outdoor circuit. But now I just have to postpone it to next year. And I'll get a job here whenever this virus goes away, and shoot. I'll always have to find a job, like a part-time job or a half-day job or something, because I don't want to give up archery. So, or something with archery, or I'll have to go overseas and see if I can find something there to do while I'm shooting. So at the moment, still very uncertain. Hopefully this year we'll figure it out.
Well, we hope to see you on the international stage again. We hope to see you winning more gold medals and winning more world records for sure.
I hope so too.
Danelle, it's been lovely to chat to you today on Sport SA Daily Diary. Thank you very much for joining us. Good luck with the rest of the lockdown, and good luck with the rest of your career. We'll certainly be watching out for you.
Thanks. Have a good day, Adam.
You too. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Look out for tomorrow's episode of Sport SA Daily Diary, where we chat to South African exterior racer Jessica Alcock.